You have never had a job. You've never accomplished anything. There's no reason to believe you have any merit or qualification for 8.5 million lives. You don't know how to run a government. You don't know how to handle an emergency. And you've literally never proposed a bill on anything that you're now talking about in your campaign. You had the worst attendance record in the assembly, and you gave yourselves the highest raise in the United States of America.
Last night, Mamdani's record, as well as a ton of his proposals, were picked apart by his competitors, including freezing the rent.
I'm going to freeze the rent. People think it applies to all of them. No, just the 25% of units that are rent stabilized. And by the way, it's all BS because the mayor doesn't have the power to do it anyway. The Rent Guidelines Board does, and he doesn't control the Rent Guidelines Board. So nothing is going to happen. It's all this.
Curtis Sliwa also attacked his $30 minimum wage proposal.
You know what the corporate sector is going to do. They're going to bring in robotics. Zohran, stop dealing with fantasy and start dealing with reality.
Cuomo took aim at his track record on Israel.
Not everything is a TikTok video. You're the savior of the Jewish people. You won't denounce globalize the Intifada, which means kill Jews. There's unprecedented fear in New York.
He was also criticized for his plans to send social workers into certain domestic violence and mental health situations.
Zohran was basing this policy on what they do in Eugene, Oregon. You've never been to Eugene, Oregon. I have. Are you out of your mind? And then Columbus, Ohio. This is New York City, a major metropolitan area with thousands of 911 calls, domestic abuse, emotionally disturbed persons, and you want to have social workers go out there and risk their life.
Cuomo questioned his ability to handle Donald Trump.
He has said he'll take over New York if Mamdani wins, and he will, because he has no respect for him. He thinks he's a kid, and he's going to knock him on his tuchus.
And finally, both of them went after Mamdani for his refusal to take a position on ballot measures in this election.
What is your opinion, Zohran?
Yes or no?
Come on.
Yes or no?
What is your opinion? Yes or no, Zohran?
True.
Don't be a politician here.
I got it. They're pointing out what I was about to. You have never had a job.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. Well, New York has fallen to Islam. People don't really know what they're voting for. They don't know what they're doing, and it's obvious when you vote in someone like a Zohran Mamdani. The guy is rich. He comes again. He's a champagne socialist. His dad's like is a very wealthy man. Like he comes from money. He's very well connected. A guy again. A lot like like that Carlos Maza guy that went after Steven Crowder. Like I mean, these guys have never had real jobs.
Same as Hassan Piker. It's like yeah, these are extremely well. They are. It's the way I describe most of these Muslim influencers and politicians is they're quite literally they come from an Islamic nation. Mm-hmm. They usually move over here or their parents raised them here or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're extremely wealthy, extremely well off. So they're like literally like college. They're like the rich college student that has everything paid for, but it's not on scholarship. That's what they are. That's what they are. They're like they've had everything handed to them, and they act like they're one of the working class people, which is always hilarious. It's like I remember like when I went on a double date with a girl with our buddy Case like way back in the day. Yeah, and like I was like, wow. This person is advocating for all the stuff, and they come from this super wealthy neighborhood. I was like, you're real working class. You really came from a real working class background. You're like, wow, you advocate for all these left-wing things, but you are this richest, most privileged person I've ever met.
Yeah, it seems like the only people that ever advocate for socialism and communism are people who are so wealthy and so out of touch they don't understand how anything works. And the only other people that root for it are the people who are so uneducated. They're either overly educated or undereducated, and they don't understand how the world works. Again, they have this they're not Christian. They have this utopian faith that people will just act in other people's best interest. But in order for that to happen, they have to get rid of all the people who don't agree with them.
Yes, like anybody who does not go with the communist utopian vision has to be taken out because they're the people preventing you from getting into heaven. I mean, that's literally why communism is anti-theist.
Yeah.
Because because anybody that believes that there's a better afterlife is not trying to forward the progress of this society.
Yeah.
Is what they will believe. It's like, oh, well, you know,
and it's not even that,
the world is flawed.
they're not trying to forward the progress in this society, in this world. They just understand that perfection is unattainable. Not saying that they're not striving for perfection, but the difference being is communism is the religion because it's the system that will bring about the utopia. And people they won't put their faith in a higher being, but they'll put their faith in that, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And again, it doesn't really matter anyway, because at the end of the day, these guys can advocate for social welfare policies and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just an end goal for their Sharia system, really, especially in the case of people like Zohran Mandani. Like, they're trying to basically what will happen is they're going to use socialism to forward the Islamic agenda, and then no one will be able to receive welfare programs unless you convert to Islam. That will be the entire point of the thing. And those who don't qualify, in order to live in their Islamic caliphate, you'll have to pay the jizya in order to just survive or live inside. It's like a shameful tax you must pay. So anyway, but yeah, we got a whole bunch of memes and stuff to talk about this guy. I mean, again, it's a shame what's happening in New York, and it's a shame. Again, but this is what happens. It's like Democrats, people like Andrew Cuomo, signed his own death warrant whenever he voted with Democrats to allow unfettered, open immigration to this country.
Yep.
Especially from the Islamic world. This is what happens. Now, you've got a Muslim in office. You may never have a non-Muslim in the mayoral office again. Ever.
Yep.
Because if they can do it once, what's going to stop them from doing it again? And we have people in this country voting against their own interests. Women voting for Muslims. Why would any non-Muslim woman vote? You had all those dumb girls posting, "I voted for Zohran today." It's like, why? It's not going to benefit you. I mean, I posted tons of memes today about this. So anyway, why don't you just start jumping into the memes and we'll go into it, and then we'll just try to go through as many memes as we can as fast as possible. Because
I'll start with this right here. This is an article from CBS, and this is the mayoral race for New York. Zohran Mandani won with 1,036,051 votes, which is 50.4% of the votes. Andrew Cuomo got 854,995 votes, which was 41.6% of the votes, and then that Rep. Curtis Sliwa got 146,137.
God, that's so sad that a Republican can't even get. I mean, that's not. That is. I mean, the two Democrats ran and got quadruple the votes that he got.
Correct.
10 times the vote. Andrew Cuomo got 8 times the votes as the Republican candidate, and Zohran Mandani got 10 times the votes as the Republican candidate.
Everyone's kind of turning this around. Like, this is showing that Trump is weak. Is like, no, it's not. What this is really showing is how divided the Democrats are. Because here is your diehard Democrat Andrew Cuomo, and then the Democratic socialist hardcore lefty progressive type Zohran Mandani. So this shows that the Democrats have lost control of their party, is really what this shows. Now, Trump, I think, should lay down the hammer, because, I think Trump should just go in and immediately, because they've already said that he is receiving foreign funding for his campaign. So, therefore, I believe that his campaign and his election is null and void. So I say Trump rolls in with the tanks and says, this election's invalid, you're out, Zohran. I hate to be that crude, but that's what I truly believe, because Zohran Mandani is receiving illegal campaign funds from the
Foreign
Muslim
entities.
Brotherhood and people who are actively seeking the destruction of the United States of America.
Yeah.
So there's that. So let's check the New Jersey one. Mickey Sherrill and Jack Centarelli said she won by 1,792,760 votes, which was 56.2% of the vote. Jack Centarelli, 1,378,391, which was 43.2% of the vote. Now, this is still a loss. But I think this is a victory for the Republicans. It's like this is the first time the Democrats have sweated in New Jersey in years. And look at that. That is not that much. Look at how much like door knockings Republicans need to do for the next one. This has Democrats crapping their pants.
Yeah.
Like that's why I say this is a partial win right now, especially in New Jersey, which New Jersey is one of the bluest states there is.
Yeah.
So it's the other one, and then we got the Virginia governor, which was Abigail Spanberger and Winslow. I hope I said that right. And then, but she won just shy of 2 million votes, and Winslow barely, or just shy of 1,500,000 votes.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that she would have won, and I've got a little clip here for this. Let me see this. Where did it go? There it is. Boom.
I know that old school saying, black people got to stick together. That one. Yeah, it turns out that right there does not count if you're talking about a black woman who just so happens to think for herself. Yeah, take a look at this here. In the beautiful state of Virginia, a black woman is not even able to get the support of, get this, the NAACP. Would y'all take a look at that right there? The National Association of Advancement for Colored People would rather stand behind a white liberal woman than a quote-unquote fellow black sister. That's right, folks. There is nothing a liberal hates more than somebody who can think for themselves, especially if they happen to come in black skin. Yeah. These are their true colors. I mean, well, technically it does make sense because the NAACP is majority funded by people who look like her, basically. Yeah. So y'all know that old school saying,
True.
Yeah. Again, how sad is that? Again, it's all politics. It's not about race, and that's exactly what the NAACP is about. It's about forwarding the Marxist black power agenda instead of empowering black individuals. Because if you're an individual that thinks differently from the rest, from the black collective, you are an enemy.
Yeah. And again, I see this as a potential win. I don't know how. I think Virginia is kind of split, but it's super close to Washington, D.C., so I do think it skews more Democrat since it's so close to Washington, D.C., because that's what they said. Everybody, if you listen to what Tim Pool says, everybody in that certain area that he's in is pretty much all blue because it's a bunch of people who live in D.C. that live there, and D.C. is 99%, or 98% Democrat. So I think it's a bit more of a fighting state, but you would think Virginia, very semi, hillbilly country-esque, would be more red.
No,
so.
Well, again, DC's there's a lot of political elites that live in Virginia because it's so close to DC. That's why. So the a lot of the powers that be will have that state voting blue because of its proximity to DC.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's this next one. So this is her at the debate with Spanberger back in the day. So check this out.
I think as everybody knows, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian before I'm a Republican, and I'm required to forgive people. And it's hard sometimes when somebody has abused you, etc., but it's something you must do, because not to forgive is almost like, as someone said, you drink poison thinking that it's going to affect the other person. And I want to live a decent life, and I don't want to not have peace in my life. And so as I've said before, I would not say that. So that's why I'm wondering why my opponent won't say, beyond it's abhorrent and disgusting, why she won't say it is not okay and that he must leave the race, because J. Jones advocated the murder, Abigail, the murder of a man, a former speaker as well as his children who were 2 and 5 years old. You have little girls. What would it take him pulling the trigger?
I'm not going to lie. This lady looks exactly like Hillary Clinton. Like, eerily so. It's very creepy, but we're going to get back to it.
That what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail? You're running to be governor. Well, I think as everybody knows,
And he won too. Jay Jones won too, which I have that pulled up right here somewhere. Here we go, right here. All right, so Democrats sweep Republicans in key Virginia races: governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general. There it is right there. Abigail, which we already saw hers. Then there's the lieutenant governor, which won by about 400,000 votes. And then we have Jay Jones. His was close, very close, but he won by a hair, like 1,496,000 votes. And then Jason Mayers lost by 1,381,000 votes. So it was a total like kind of hairs like right there, but regardless, was the guy that advocated for murdering of his political opponent's children just to see the policy changes that he wanted, won, and he's the attorney general. That is the lead cop. That is the number one cop in your guys' state now that says, I wouldn't mind if my political opponent's children died. Just goes to show you how he's going to enforce the law around. You're going to see Virginia just like slap on the wrist policies just like New York and California, catch and release.
Well, it'll probably prosecute his political opponents harshly and don't prosecute people who agree with him.
Easily could see that. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to start with those things right off the bat, and we'll see what else I've got in here. Is there anything that you found on your list that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, all of it's pretty good. It's all quick, short, funny stuff, so we could just go through it one by one as we go see fit.
So we'll start with this meme right here. But yeah, Ted Cruz posted this. This seems like an easy one, New York. A Democrat, just a Democrat, an actual commie jihadist, a literal Karl Marxist quoting American-hating jihadist. And seems New York is choosing that. But this is the problem, is like, and this is all Andrew Cuomo's fault why he lost.
Yeah.
The way he handled COVID has quite literally been like, New Yorkers are like, I would rather have a guy who's never had a job before running the nation, a communist Marxist type running our city, than a guy who lied to us and constantly did the worst possible policy calls during the COVID lockdown.
Yep.
So Andrew Cuomo literally shit the bed on this one.
Well, I mean, it's also his open door policies, allowing anybody to immigrate to his state, allowing anybody to come into the New York. I mean, he signed his own death warrant. He look. I hate to say this, but it's like all those guys that say demographics is destiny. It's like they're not totally wrong, because the people who come here in droves, the people that come here illegally, don't understand our system, don't care about our the foundations and pillars that our country was built upon, don't care about our shared history. They just want to see someone. They're going to vote for the guy who's promising them free stuff. They're going to vote for the guy that's promising, hey, your little illegal shops you're selling, your street vendors on the road, I'm not going to prosecute you. I'm going to tax the guys that have the big nice businesses and the big nice buildings. That's who's going to pay. They're like, hell yeah. You mean I get to get away with crime and you're going to tax the people that we're robbing? Perfect. Sign me up. So yeah, it's gross, man. It's evil. It's disgusting.
Yep. Which brings me to this next one that I have pulled up here. Bill Maher had George Will talk about Zohran Mamdani and what he thinks, and like, I can see his thought train on this, but I'll let you watch it and you tell me what you think on the back end.
Horrible for a guy like you, who you spent your whole life talking about how government tries to do too much, which it does, and spends too much. And here you have Trump, who is the Republican, who is aggrandizing more power than anybody, as we just talked about. And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win?
Yeah. I think every 20 years or so.
Wait.
We need it. Every 20 years or so.
Okay, I know he supposedly has a live show, but him telling him to wait made me seem like that was a laugh track.
Yeah,
Like, wait. Ha 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 ha. Now go.
Yeah.
I mean, it just was awkward to me.
It was.
We need a conspicuous, confined experiment with socialism so we can crack it up again. Socialist slogan used to be, workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. The new socialist slogan is, trust us, this time it won't be a mess. So, when the post-war Labour government in Britain was about to get started, one of their leading lights was a socialist named Nurian Bevan. He said, what could go wrong? He said, we have a nation bedded on coal, surrounded by fish. It would take an organizational genius to have a shortage of either. In 3 years, they had a shortage of both. That's socialism.
This must be horrible for a guy like you.
Yeah. He's not wrong, but I mean, again, you get what you deserve. You get what you vote for. And again, businesses are going to leave New York. They're not going to have anybody to tax because they're only going to have a bunch of welfare recipients, and all the big businesses are going to shut down and leave. Same thing goes for, it's exactly what they said, what that guy from Shark Tank said about Donald Trump and his little real estate thing, the thing they prosecuted Donald Trump for. They go, You're going to make it impossible to do real estate business in New York because nothing Donald Trump did was wrong. Mm-hmm. So, again, if you think that's the case, and now you're going to you're going to allow illegal street vendors to sell, rip-off merchandise in front of nice stores who are selling the exact same products but the real version of it. The people who are selling on the street aren't getting taxed. The people who are selling inside the buildings are paying taxes, are paying rent, and having to pay their employees.
And insurance.
And insurance, as well as getting a tax increase thanks to Zohran Mamdani.
Yep.
They're going to leave.
Yes.
They're going to destroy the economy.
Yeah.
Again, it's
the lemonade stand logic with the street vendors. It's like, we're going to go steal the stuff. Like I said, we'll use watches examples. Yeah. Like you said, there's setup shop outside of a watch store. They go and steal. They have somebody go in and steal those watches, sell them to them, and then they're selling that people's watches on the street just
in front of the
store.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then the store has to have their insurance increased because they got it broke into. They're getting the watches replaced because they, have them insured. And then the vendor is just making pure profit.
Yeah.
And they don't have to pay any of the taxes, any of the insurance, anything else. This is why the whole broken windows thought process of the Democrats does not make sense, because eventually the windows get broken so many times, the insurance is going to cancel you. Yeah.
It's the same with your home and auto policies. If you have more than 2 homeowners claims a year, Allstate and State Farm, 2 of the biggest companies in America, will cancel you. They're like, we can't insure you. Sorry, get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, there is no profit for an insurance company if you are 100% going to be robbed once a week.
Yeah.
Even more than that. If they're going to be we don't want to insure something that has a 100% chance of being broken into. There's no point in us insuring a place like that.
Yeah. So again, it is dumb logic that they're running through here. And again, they're going to get what they vote for. And the problem is the socialists and the Democrats are going to be like, it's the capitalists who are the evil capitalist corporations leaving the city are to blame. If they hadn't have left, we'd have been able to tax them and we'd have made this thing work. It's like, no, you wouldn't have. If you can't turn a profit, you cannot function as a business. Period.
Mm-hmm. Which brings me to this. We've shown this before, but this is what the Democratic Socialists of America are. They hate the Democratic Party. They're trying to take over the Democratic Party. This is what we keep saying. This shows that the Democrats are in disarray. Everyone keeps pretending like the Democrats are all together and united. The only thing that they're united against is Trump.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that they agree on, and this right here proves it.
It's no secret that the Democratic Socialists of America hate the Democratic Party.
I think we're all on the same page that we hate the Democratic Party.
The Democratic Party is not really
our friend. It isn't.
So why are the DSA such major players in the Democratic Party? This odd relationship can be understood with the cuckoo analogy. In nature, the cuckoo survives by trickery. It lays its egg in another bird's nest. The unsuspecting parents raise the imposter as their own until the cuckoo grows strong enough to push the true chicks out. The DSA is the cuckoo inside the Democratic Party.
DSA is not the Democratic Party.
We must separate ourselves from the toxic Democratic Party.
We can put forward a clear, aggressive, principled strategy that pushes back against the Democratic leadership and the Democratic Party as a whole.
DSA candidates run as Democrats in safe blue districts. They slip through low turnout primaries. And once inside, they use the Democratic label as camouflage while advancing an extremist anti-American agenda far beyond the party's mainstream.
I don't agree with the Democratic Party, but it's a great tool.
The Democratic is a tool that we use.
Once in office, DSA candidates take orders from DSA's internal enforcers and working groups. City halls and state houses start running as socialist machines controlled by the organization, not the Democratic Party, and certainly not voters.
They have to have a connection with DSA's internal politics, and they have to be committed to the eventual goal of building a separate entity from the Democrats.
DSA are revolutionaries, and the Democrats are their first victims. And in city after city, DSA victories prove their plan works.
I think that the model that we used in New York is 100% replicatable.
And just like the cuckoo, once the DSA grows strong, it pushes the true Democrats out, hollowing the party from within,
building towards political independence and tearing apart the Democratic Party.
The DSA is not here to strengthen the Democratic Party. It is here to consume it.
We're not here to make the Democrats a little bit better. We're here to actually enact socialism. And socialism is not just better capitalism. It's overthrowing the entire capitalist state.
It's our duty, DSA, to cultivate this power.
The cuckoo is in the nest, and New York City is poised to elect not a Democrat, but Zohran Mamdani, an extremist within the DSA.
We understand that winning an election is not an end. It is a means to an end.
So the most important thing that we can do is take that empire down from within.
Ultimately to overthrow our own empire.
We need a movement that can drive a snake through the heart of empire.
We need to orient ourselves towards insurrection.
Interesting. Again, the left, again, this is why what Reagan said a long time ago is I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me. And again, you're the ones changing your views. You're the ones moving further left. The right's not going anywhere. We're literally drawing our line in the sand saying we're not going to move from here. And you guys are going, look how far right they've gone because you're sprinting that way. You know what I mean? Or that way.
Mm-hmm. Which brings me to this next one that you popped up on me. Here, let's see here. Oh, wrong one. Okay. So, terrorism is just part and parcel of living in a big city. Tokyo, over 3 million people. 13 million people. No Islamic terrorism.
Yeah, because they don't allow Muslims in their country. And the ones that, and the new prime minister, the ones that they did let in, she goes, we're deporting them.
Yep.
We don't want it here.
That's the thing. They're trying to convince you that this is just normal. They're trying to convince you that crime is normal. They're trying to convince you that pedophile is normal.
They're trying to convince you that Islamic aggression and terrorism is normal. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's only normal in Islamic countries.
Yep. Then you sent me this one too. Pro-feminist, leftist, pro-feminist, pro-choice, pro-LGBTQ, anti-slavery, and then pro-Islam. And they're trying to figure out how come these two things aren't lining up anymore. They don't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I think I have one for that on the other side real quick. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Then, let's see here. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Hey, Islam, how's it going? And it says, the Muslim Brotherhood TV show explains under certain circumstances, Christian girls can be raped. Allah allows Muslim men to rape non-Muslim women to humiliate them. It goes, the female prisoners of war are those of whom you own. And of course, it's the guy going, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Again, this is Islam, man. Like, everyone will be like, no. That's just a bad interpretation. No, this is Islam. These are your clerics. These are your holy translator guys, your scribes. They're telling you exactly what Islam is. Let's not pretend it's not. Again, at least do your enemies the favor of believing what they're telling you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, your eyes are lying. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and this is not, like, everyone's just like, this is not what the mainstream Muslims think. Oh, well, let's check this out right here. Live interview of Shalima, a 10-year-old girl being forced by her own mother to marry a 30-year-old Muhammad. My daughter, Shema, has she reached puberty? No. She has a bride that hasn't reached puberty? She'll reach puberty when she gets with her husband. And then the girl's like, I don't want to get married. My family has forced me. They forced me to get married. What do they want? Why do they want you to get married? I don't know. You're currently engaged. Yes. When is the marriage? In a year. What did they tell you about the marriage? They didn't say much. So you said you're 10 years old. So you're engaged at 9. Yes. Have you reached puberty? She says no. Do you even know what that means? I don't know. Are you afraid of marriage? Yes. What are you afraid of? Everything. What if he doesn't want me to stay with my mom? What scares you the most about marriage? I'm afraid that if I don't let him, he'll beat me. What? I'm afraid if I don't let him, he'll beat me. Scary stuff.
Such a beautiful culture. So enriching.
Yep. Then let's see here. Oh, yeah. And then these, again, Jack Posobiec posted this. These are the people we're supposed to unite. These are the people that we're supposed to unite with. These are the people. Like,
voting
again,
for Zohran Mamdani.
Exactly. And these are the people that voted for that AG in Virginia that advocated for the death of his opponent's children.
Yeah.
Look here. It's like the evil leftist fantasy that they wanted Trump to be killed. Why didn't he get assassinated? It's gross. It's gross. And we're the party of
intolerance and bigotry.
Yeah. But here, check this one. And again, you think, okay, well that video that you just showed of that girl being forced into an arranged marriage, that's another country. That's not America. That's not going to happen in America. Let's check this out from our, I forget what this guy's name is, but this is the guy going around doing God's work, or Charlie Kirk's work in this case, going around and debating college campuses again. I forget his name. I cannot remember. Oh, Cam Higbee. There it is right there. Cam Higbee. So check this out.
Married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated her, meaning he had sex with her, when she was 9.
So what about the ones that say she's 19? Why
there isn't one that say she was 19. Okay, show me. Is it a Sahih rated hadith?
This is 19 right there.
This is a Medium article, not a hadith.
Boy, bye.
It's a blog post. This is literally a blog post.
I mean, regardless of, do you think that every single Muslim takes every single thing in the Quran literally? Or do you think that they might use right? There might be different interpretations.
Well, there's a difference between something being taken literally and so if there's a metaphor in the Bible that says something about I don't know, whatever. So something I would expect Muslims not to take literally, right, is the Prophet Muhammad rode his unicorn donkey, hitched it on the side of the Temple Mount, and then rose to heaven. Probably didn't happen. Oh, that was literal. That actually happened. He rode his flying donkey and hitched it on the side of the Temple Mount. Okay.
Continue.
Even sillier.
Continue.
Okay, so they do. So your point is now they do take it literally. Sahih al-Bukhari.
Yeah. He's literally like, no, he actually did that. Okay, so you do take the Quran literally.
Yeah.
She
so again,
literally destroyed her own argument.
Yeah, again, idiots. They're idiots. And again, they worship a false prophet and they worship a false god. And what do you expect? They'll believe the most ridiculous things in there, but then they'll be like, him marrying a 10-year-old, that's just ridiculous. We don't take everything literally, but then we just showed you that video of that girl getting married. It's like, that's in another country, though. It's like, yeah, but you're bringing it here. You're bringing your crappy culture here with you, and we don't want it. There's a reason our societies function so well for as long as it has, and there's a reason why Islamic countries function as poorly as they do. Yep. And there's one correlation with it. It's called Islam.
Yep. And then this, I'm just going to bring this back up, is again, This is the votes again for the government shutdown. Here are all the votes that we've had for to reopen the government for that continuing resolution. And look here, GOP has voted to pass it every single time. The Democrats have voted to not pass it every single time. They really want to give illegal immigrants free health care.
Yep. It's disgusting, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Your hardworking tax dollars goes to pay for illegal immigrants, man. It's so sad.
Mm-hmm. Which, is there any other ones of these?
They're all of them, man. Just go to the top and work your way down.
We're going in. Just continue with Facebook. I don't know why it keeps asking me to log in, bro. Oh, my God. Let's just log into mine.
Hopefully it gets in there soon.
Yeah. There we go.
Today, we have 43 state delegates in the United States who are Muslim. If they want to run for Congress, we may end up with about 50 members of Congress in the next 6 years. That's really the essence of dismantling the system of injustice, is to replace it with the people who represent the Prophet ﷺ. Today, we have...
There you go. They're there to disrupt and dismantle the system.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy. And again, this is another perfect little meme right here. Look at this.
Once elected, I will be a vegetarian. It's a wolf preaching to a bunch
That's
of
what
sheep.
happens when you elect an Islamic person to run your city and state.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one exactly personifies exactly what's going to happen, especially to you pro-LGBT, pro-Palestine, LGBTQ groups people. Like, I mean, it's obvious what that is. They're on top of a roof, and those are two Muslims, and what are they doing with the person wearing the pride shirt? Going for a trip in their favorite rocket ship. You know what I'm
saying? Next one. It's shameful how easily we forget.
Yeah, again, I know that there is a group of people out there who think that Mossad agents and the you-know-whos were responsible for 9/11, which, whatever, believe what you will. That doesn't negate the fact that people of the Islamic faith got on the planes and flew into the towers. Willfully and enthusiastically did what they did.
Mm-hmm.
So you can think that there were masterminds behind the operation that were of a different religion. You know,
well, it's we've already showed this before too. It's like the whole Groyper thing is nonsense because like Nick Fuentes even said it. Like, oh, the Muslim countries didn't hate America and American Christians until the invention of Israel, the nation of Israel. And then you're like, what an idiot! You have clearly never heard of the Barbary Pirates and Thomas Jefferson,
or the birth of the Marine Corps.
Exactly, literally that was the birth of the Marine Corps right there.
Mm-hmm.
So the shores of Tripoli, and Nick Fuentes is like, oh, the Islamic countries didn't have any beef with America until Israel was made. You're like, wow, you really are an idiot who knows nothing. So
it's like, hey, no, again, history only happened. Again, this all comes
World
under
War II.
the history started after World War II. Everything before World War II was a mistake somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Anybody that literally touts that stuff, that the history doesn't really start before World War II.
Oh, yeah, well,
if your worldview of everything is just Nazis, good people, and Nazis, you don't have a good take on history.
No, but I mean, again, it's just it's ahistorical, and again, it's like any politician that says history begins today. Like that is propaganda nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Let's bring up this next one here.
That's that Zohran Mamdani guy. Good luck. New York will be turned into a mosque.
He seemed like such a walking contradiction to me.
Exactly.
Because he talks the language of the far left when it comes to things like abortion, sex, homosexuality, which are anathema to most Muslims. He's doing that, and at the same time...
Exactly.
Is he a practicing Muslim?
In Islam, they have a teaching called taqiyya. Taqiyya is where you're allowed to lie for the sake of spreading Islam. When I look at Zohran Mamdani going in the street, acting like an American kind of one day, and then acting like a Muslim one day, eating with his hand one day, and then wearing a suit like he's westernized, I look at this guy and I'm like, I think he's practicing taqiyya. Muhammad commands you can lie for the sake of spreading Islam. Zohran Mamdani, when he says, I love the trans community, I want to fund them, he's either practicing taqiyya, because under Islam, transgenders and homosexuals must be executed, or he's not a Muslim. One of them. And I would love for him to be very clear.
Or is he a cafeteria Muslim? They talk about like cafeteria Catholics where They say, I'm a Catholic. And it's like, well, you go to mass, but you don't live the teachings of the faith. But you think that your suspicion, based on your experience living in Egypt, growing up in Egypt, is that it's something more sinister than that.
It's either he's a very lukewarm or not a Muslim at all, or he's practicing taqiyya. If he is practicing taqiyya and New York votes this guy in, good luck. New York will be turned into a mosque. People will be praying in the street, and it's happening right now, by the way. New York is already, the Muslims are praying loud and proud in the street. If he is practicing taqiyya, you need to vote this guy out.
I think either way we should vote him out.
100%. Vote him out. If New York...
Yep. This is a great meme right here.
Zohran Mamdani is OJ. His wife is New York. I love it.
Yep.
Next one here. In 5 years, Andrew Cuomo went from being far-left Democrat to conservative opinion option for New York mayor without changing any of his opinion. That's the great summary of the past 50 years of American politics.
That right there is exactly what we're talking about. This is exactly what Reagan talked about in the 80s. When he goes, I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me. This is the crux of modern Democrats. That is what they are.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's
Man,
a
you
bunch.
got a
Oh,
bunch,
yeah.
dude.
It's all great stuff too. All of it. I mean, this is just like I said. We're just gonna review these memes and talk about how bad Zohran Mamdani is, because I mean the left really screwed up. That should be the no. I think there's a couple more, but
Man alive. Yep, that's the last one.
yep. The other one is that's the
That's the
stuff
one
we showed yesterday.
Yep, it sure is. All right, I do love that.
Yeah,
though.
that's a perfect. That one's perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that one up. I like that one. Uh-oh, I pulled up too many, didn't I? We're gonna probably have to get rid of them and do them one at a time. Here we go.
Nope, doesn't want to play ball. You're gonna have to just do it
Yeah,
one
we're
at a
gonna have to do
time.
them one at a time. My bad.
That's okay. I don't know what it is about the computer using the stuff from your personal account, but
Yeah, I think it's because I'm using two different browsers for this. Since I have it's like it's trying to figure out which browser. Which browser do we want to use?
Yep.
Here we
This
go.
is a good one. This is a good one.
Liberal women in New York this November. I bring Islam and Sharia, but we still get to keep our rights, right? She's wearing a hijab afterwards.
Yep, wearing the burqa. I mean, again, guys, ladies of New York, liberal white women, all the girls that were bragging that they voted for Zohran, this is what you deserve. I mean, you guys love The Handmaid's Tale. You're like, The Handmaid's Tale is such... First of all, it's crappy writing. It's crappy fiction. But they're like, The Handmaid's Tale is coming, and the Catholic Church is going to bring it upon. It's like, no, Islam is going to bring it upon you. The only difference is it's not going to be cool red dresses that you're going to want to wear around. It's these dark black ones that you're going to be baking in the sun in all day.
Yep. And then the other part of that, too, is quite literally, like, that is the religion of Islam. It is. Like, it's all they try to do to, like, make it more progressive, they go, this is what Christians really want, is how they always try to twist it. Is like, and when we've shown throughout history, the more Christian a nation becomes,
The more rights women seem to get.
Exactly. It's always been that way. It's like what you said with
can
like the
track,
Roman
yeah.
Empire. You can track the Roman Empire's treatment of women through Christianity. It's like they were abandoned because they did not keep girls. Like a wealthy noble who had like several, a harem or like, slave women or whatever, they would keep the boys, but they would abandon the girls on the street, and the Christians would go pick up these abandoned baby girls and raise them Christian.
Yeah, it basically the Roman Christians basically started adoption.
Yeah, started adoption, and then it goes to show you that women spread Christianity because they were raised Christian, and then they were probably be adopted into Roman families or whatever and became wives, and then like their husbands would become, or at least if their husbands didn't convert, their children would be raised Christian.
And again, like, if you're a woman and you're a slave, and you have a master who can basically use you at his will, kind of like Islam, but like I said, this is Rome. But they go, I don't need your love or your respect. I have a God that loves and respects me.
Yep. Now, next one here. New York City mayor projected winner, and it's freaking Karl Marx or a Stalin.
Yeah, it's Stalin.
It says Zohran Mamdani. New York already forgot.
Yeah, again, it was Muslims that flew those planes in the towers. Again, you can say
that the Jews paid them to do it.
Yeah, the Jews were the masterminds behind it all. But again, they willingly jumped in those planes to do that. So again, this is that religion. This is what they are. This is who they are. And violence is allowed.
And their number one issue is whether or not I eat biryani with my hands.
Yeah.
It shows you the disconnect. And also the fact that everybody eats with their hands, whether you're eating chicken wings or burgers or pizza or biryani or whatever it is. But the thing that's been I would say kind of like a silver lining of it is I was in Jackson Heights not too long ago. I was in Diversity Plaza. I'm walking across the plaza, and there's a man who's driving his car, and I can see his car starts to jerk because he's trying to put it in park and get out at the same time to talk to me. But he finally gets it, and he goes, I also eat with my hands. I was like, that's great, Habibi, that's great. Many of us do. And he was like, let's take a photo. I was like, amazing.
Literally, because
we'll do it.
News flash to the Western world, literally the entire global South eats with their hands. The majority of the world eats that way. And
yeah, it's called hot dogs and burgers.
The majority of the world is uncivilized.
Yeah, a lot of the places that we're talking about are third world countries, crap holes.
You don't eat rice and noodles with your hands.
Yeah, I mean, Asians have chopsticks, for God's sakes, for that.
Mm-hmm. Good Lord, that is so stupid. That's the dumbest argument I've ever heard.
This is what happens when you import the third world, though. And they go, all cultures are beautiful and equal. Like, whatever you say, kid.
Mm-hmm. Crap. Yep, just another one that we forgot. New York City already forgot. Liberal white women in 3 years.
Summer vacation, girls. Woo!
Oh, my
Looks like they're having fun in the sun.
Working on that tan. Oh, you sent it twice. Okay. I see you. There we go. Did I get that one? I did. Okay. Boom, and
golly.
Boom. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Mondani announces plan to blame racism after his policies fail.
Again, we've already talked about this a little bit. Like, all the businesses that he's going to increase taxes on are either going to go under or leave the state. And then they're going to say the greedy capitalists refuse to do business in this area, so it's the capitalist's fault that socialism's failed.
Yeah. Breaking news. Zohran Mondani wins the New York City mayoral race, defeating Andrew Cuomo. New York just elected a Ugandan communist. Pray for New York City.
Again, you get what you vote for, New York. Things are going to get a lot worse in a very short amount of time.
We must change capitalist New York City to socialist. Didn't your dad flee socialism twice for capitalism? And he just looks back at her smiling. Jesus.
Yeah. Again, all these people, I mean, same with Ilhan Omar. Like, Ilhan Omar's dad was the assistant to the man in power, the warlord in power, and then they were all going to be threatened to be killed, so they left the country to come to the safe haven of, Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Or Minnesota? Like, how sad is that? We allow the villains to come here or live amongst us. The villains who enslaved a population in their home country. It's like, no, you come on over here. You're safe here in America. And they come here to destroy our country.
Yep. See what this next one here says. Voter says he knows Mondani can't increase taxes as he promised to do. Still votes for him.
How is Zohran Mamdani going to increase taxes on billionaires?
I don't know the answer. I'm not a tax expert.
You know that the mayor can't increase taxes? It can't.
I'm familiar with that, yeah.
So why vote for somebody that promised you something that you know is not capable of doing that?
So you're pretty familiar with his agenda?
Yes.
Then you probably know the answer already.
What is the answer?
The answer is the things that he can do and then the things that he can advocate for.
But that is the major thing that he's running on, is to increase taxes on billionaires by 2%.
The second thing I said was advocate for it, and that's the thing that he's going to do.
We don't have to be a mayor to advocate for things. Anyone can advocate for things. He was an assembly member, and he didn't advocate for that. He didn't pass any bills.
As an assembly member, he advocated for and got
Did he introduce any bills?
As an assembly member, he advocated for and got a trial run for free buses in Queens. It showed an increase in ridership and an increase in speed.
Give you stuff for free in the beginning. That's how they get in power. They've done it for hundreds of years.
So I think Cuomo was running on a make subways free thing after Mamdani was going to do buses. He said, I'm not going to do buses, but I'll do subways. I mean...
Both are pretty terrible options, in my opinion. Can you tell me how...
Bye.
Jesus. These people vote.
This is the voter population of New York. I want more free stuff. I'm going to vote for the guy that promises free stuff, even if it's impossible.
Yeah. It's like communist then, entitled, lazy, narcissistic psychopaths. Communist now, entitled, lazy, narcissistic sociopaths. Yeah. They haven't changed.
Not a bit.
Okay, next one. What's this? You sent this one? What?
Everybody, one of us, you got all of us. Check me! Everybody, one of us, you got all of us.
I knew you'd like that one.
Oh my God, that's bad. Zohran Mandani, day one.
Will be ripped from their decadent nests.
It's the bad. Yeah.
And cast out into the cold world that we know and endure.
Yeah, I could easily see this happening.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Again, this is Zohran Mandani's philosophy. But again, Zohran Mandani is one of those people. He's one of the rich people. He is the wealthy elite. His dad's a multimillionaire.
Mm-hmm.
He comes from money. Again, he is advocating for something that he's never actually experienced. I mean, if it truly is going to work out that way, he would be one of the people being tossed out in the street.
Yep.
But no, everyone's like, well, he's one of the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're the bootlickers for defending people like Elon Musk for coming up with rational decisions to solve problems. And then, they're not bootlickers for liking pro-communist millionaires and billionaires. They know they're the good ones. You know, they know. They get it. They're on our side. Therefore, we're not bootlickers. They're licking our boots.
That is probably, I've got a feeling this is probably how I should end the show. So I'm
Okay.
going to go to this one right here and just talk about how this is not compatible with our country.
Sure.
You think women ruin men with divorce? Interesting. I'd say that it's more reasonable to believe that men ruin women because of things like genitalia mutilation.
Genitalia mutilation happens more in Islamic countries. You're complaining about Islam, not men.
Or forced marriages.
Forced marriages happen more in Islamic countries. You're complaining about Islam, not men.
Or even honor killings.
Honor killings happen more in Islamic countries. You're complaining about Islam, not men.
But in some parts of the world, women can't even go to school.
Women not having access to education happens more in Islamic countries. You're complaining about Islam again, not men, Dean. And for all the people who are going to comment and say, oh, those are not Islamic practices. Well, even if they weren't, which they are, the doctrine and major sects of Islam still believe in a caliphate, which is a prerequisite of a undemocratic, theocratic dictatorship. I'm telling you guys, the same problem that's hurting the UK right now will hurt America in 20 years. Mark my words.
You think women ruin...
Again, like this guy has... Dean Withers has no grasp of reality. He's just looking at the statistics by themselves going, well, the vast majority of men oppress women. It's like, no, only in Islamic countries. Like, have you ever heard of an honor killing here in the United States? What father executed his daughter because she had relations with a boy on prom night? Has that ever happened? I'm going to kill my daughter because she got it on with the quarterback of the football team before they was married.
I'll take things that never happened for 300.
Yes, exactly.
So that would be the worst case scenario from that, which happened back in the day, would have been a shotgun marriage. It would have been like,
yes.
Dad's like, you are marrying my daughter, no questions asked.
And you're going to raise this kid.
Exactly. Whereas now it would be more likely we're going to, if it's a more liberal household, if a conservative household would probably still do that. Liberal household would be like, let's abort that thing.
Yeah, exactly. No responsibility. This is what's so ridiculous. Again, Dean Withers and all these left-wing talking point guys, like, somebody was like, hey, you should talk about this. And it's like he's just looking at the overall grand scheme of statistics globally. It's like going, yeah, men oppress women. Men honor kill women. It's like, Dean, in America, where has that happened besides somebody who's a Muslim? Has a Christian ever killed their own child because they were deflowered on prom night?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Yep.
And if you find it, they probably weren't Christian to begin with if they did do something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
The Christians are always on the side of life. Because vengeance is the Lord, not ours.
Yep. But that's pretty much all we've got for today. Like, we're in a sad state. But, again, we're in a sad state because no Republicans won. But I think we're in a good state because, again,
the margins
we almost
were close.
won New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. Like, every single one of those margins was pretty dang close. So I think Democrats are sweating.
Well, even that guy that won the AG, Jay, what's his name?
Yeah.
That advocated violence.
Jones,
Jay Jones.
Yeah.
He actually won by a more narrow margin than was anticipated.
Yeah, exactly. So these people are not safe, and they are not sitting safely, comfortably in their spots.
Yeah.
So
and again, this is typical for election season. Like whenever a Republican gets into office, the midterms people vote for the other party because they're blaming the party in power for all the problems that be.
Mm-hmm.
Same what happened with Barack Obama. Republicans won the midterm stuff because a lot of people were like, whenever Obama implemented his policies, they're going, these policies suck. It's ruining stuff. It's ruining my business. So people voted in Republicans in their state to counterbalance the left-wing policies that were implemented by Barack Obama. This is not uncommon. This is not like a huge dub for the Democrats like people would have you believe. They're just trying to rub it in your face to demoralize you. Don't get demoralized. We just got to – the fight – that's the problem with the Republicans here. Like, we think we have the White House, therefore all the world's problems are solved. They're not. The battle continues. The fight continues every single day. Just because Donald Trump's in the White House doesn't mean he's going to save the world. He's only in there for another 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
The fight continues. And we have to fight locally. You have to win the local elections. You have to win on your city council boards. You have to win on your school boards. You got to get people you trust in there. You got to win locally. You got to make sure your city's mayor is somebody good who's got good policies, who has the best interest of the town at heart. And then you got to go to your state policies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to go bigger. Then you can go national. Like you can insulate yourself locally from federal issues.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I would say is, like, I think most of the people who voted for Zohran and all these other people are people who are either uninformed voters or die-hard progressives or anti-Trumpers.
Yeah.
That's the only people that are voting for these people.
Yeah.
People who are more informed. This is why I keep saying, it's like, this is why Democrats keep trying to lower the voting age to like 16 or whatever.
They want an ignorant voting base.
They want an ignorant voting base. I did not give two craps about politics until I got out of college. Like, when someone brought up a political discussion to me, I was like, no thanks.
Yeah, because it was usually all pro-Obama, like, propaganda. I'd be like, I don't like Obama, therefore I don't want to hear your propaganda about him. So you just walk away.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is like, it's these people that watch a commercial and say, oh, he's against Trump, or he's going to give me free stuff. Which, again, as we just saw from all these videos, that he can't actually give you. He doesn't have the ability as a mayor or whatever to do these things. But, again, they will vote for it because they go, oh, well, he's against this, or he's for this, or he promised me free stuff, or he's anti-Trump. Mm-hmm. That's the reason they're voting. It's not because they're looking at the policy positions. They're voting because they're anti-this, or he's giving me free stuff. He's promised me free stuff, and he's going to tax rich people.
Yep.
That's all this is.
Exactly. So I think that's about all we've got for you today. It's a sad state of affairs that, again, New York has elected its first Muslim communist mayor.
Yeah.
And again, you're going to see, hopefully that guy on Bill Maher is correct. Hopefully it's people will have their eyes open and be like, okay, this sucks. We can't do this ever again.
Yep.
But again, this is why the Democrats and the far left parties in this country will just keep importing their voter base, because it guarantees them those positions.
Yeah. Well, again, it's kind of like what I talk about with in regards to, I won't say names, but like, just say you work for a big corporation, and all of a sudden you just see a massive firing spree, and they get rid of all the benefits and stuff that were from that previous years, and but that's why they're firing all those people, because they're bringing in a whole new crop of people, because they don't want you to remember what all the benefits and things were. They just go, get rid of all them, so that way there's nobody that can complain about the things, about how the things used to be.
Yeah.
That's what this thing is. Like, it's the same with the Democrats. Like, bring in people like, they don't know what the American values and voting systems are, but if they aren't educated on it, they'll just keep voting for us, because we're the people that are like, we want you to be here.
Yeah, don't remember history. Don't remember what makes this country great. We just want you to vote for the things that make your life easier. Or at least vote the people who are making promises to make your life easier. Whether or not they can actually deliver on those promises, be damned. So again, that's about all I've got for you today. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was The Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you on the next one. See you later, everybody.
My name is Hakmet. I'm a terrorist. Anybody know of any terrorist attacks coming up soon? My name is Hakmet. I'm a terrorist. Anybody know of any terrorist attacks coming up soon?